Rockstars, it's me, MT, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 has finally released their first trailer, promising all of us that our theater popcorn will be extra salty, as it will also be flavored with our tears, as the brilliant and beautiful mind of James Gunn promises to deliver a super emotional final chapter of the Guardians saga. And I am not ready for all of this to end. Please do not kill off Rocket. Please don't do that. I will cry in front of many women, featuring the High Evolutionary as the film's main antagonist. But if some hidden details that I've noticed in that first trailer are correct, I don't think the High Evolutionary will be the only cosmic antagonist the Guardians of the Galaxy will have to face in this movie. In fact, I believe a certain villain from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 will be making a surprising return to put the Guardians of the Galaxy in crazy danger. And no, I'm not just talking about Adam Warlock, who can be seen punching Nebula in the face in the trailer for The Glory of the Sovereign. I'm talking about the worst father in the MCU by far, Ego, the Living Planet. Let's talk about him, my nerd babies, because I don't think Ego is dead. But first, of course, do not forget to hit up newrockstarsmerch.com to buy one of our cool latest Obsession shirts or one of our amazing other nerd options over at that website. We have a lot of cool shit for you this holiday season, and all of our stuff is the perfect stocking stuffer for the nerd that you love. So head on over to newrockstarsmerch.com today to buy something cool for you. And today's video is sponsored by Babbel, one of the top language learning apps in the world. The holidays are all about family. One of my younger cousins just got back from a semester in Mexico, and I want to be able to surprise her by asking her about her trip in Spanish, which I do not currently speak at all. But that's what Babbel is for. Babbel specializes in preparing you for real life encounters and situations. Like, studies have shown that 15 hours using Babbel is the equivalent of a semester of college Spanish, and 15 hours in Babbel just flies by. Like, I can watch videos, listen to podcasts, play games, or do lessons, whatever kind of learning mood that I'm in. Babbel's got something that fits the bill. I really like how they gamify learning. I have daily goals and achievements that I can unlock as I learn the language, which is super rewarding. I'm pretty early in my Babbel journey, but I've started to learn some useful phrases like, ¿Me trajiste el algún regalo de Mexico? Fingers crossed that she says sí. Get up to 60% off your subscription when you click the link in the description or scan the QR code to start learning with Babbel today. We thank Babbel again for sponsoring this video. All right, so believe it or not, I believe that Ego the Living Planet was front and center in the first trailer for Guardians 3. Because remember that weird, fleshy, tentacled mass that the Guardians of the Galaxy went off to do a dramatic rainbow-colored spacesuit walk into? That weird mass of tentacles is Ego of the Living Planet, just an overly evolved version of Ego, courtesy of one Herbert Wyndham, aka the High Evolutionary, who I like to call Herbert Lutionary because that is his legal name. For you see, my nerd babies, I believe that this is Marvel Studios' adaptation of a cosmic being known as Super Ego from the comics. I mean, look at him. Like, this shit looks exactly like the massive, fleshy, alien tentacled planetary mass the Guardians are exploring in this movie. But first, just what is a Super Ego anyway? Well, in the comics, Super Ego was described as a living cosmic being that the High Evolutionary believed to be the true source of Ego the Living Planet. Because in the pages of Thor 449 and Thor 450, Herbert Lutionary says that he believed that there was actually multiple Ego the Living Planets in the universe at one time, and that they all originated from this heavily mysterious solar system-sized abomination known as Super Ego that went around eating planets with his huge tentacles. And my God, was the High Evolutionary hype as f, man. That dude was like, yes, weird tentacle creature, I want to study it. Like, he wanted so badly to witness what this Super Ego thing was going to evolve into next. Because up until that point, Super Ego was apparently going around consuming entire planets and even ended up crushing and consuming Ego the Living Planet with ease. And Super Ego was so much of a problem in the cosmos that literally every celestial in the universe showed up to address the Super Ego situation. I believe that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 will adapt this event from the comics for the third act of the film, when the mad scientist that is the High Evolutionary attempts to do something that no one in the universe has ever tried to do: create and evolve a celestial being using two key factors here: the cosmic remains of Ego the Living Planet combined with all the celestial material that was mined from the head of Knowhere by the Collector. Something that I actually brought up in Inside Marvel before the trailer even premiered, because I have the gift of prophecy. Because if you remember from the first Guardians movie, Gamora tells us that the whole reason why the Collector even set up shop inside of this huge severed celestial head was so that he could mine all the special celestial brain matter and spinal fluid and whatnot to sell on the black market. Now, I believe that the High Evolutionary bought most, if not all, of this organic material and combined it with the remains of Ego the Living Planet that was thought to be destroyed at the end of Guardians 2. Because here's the deal, guys. I don't think Ego the Living Planet was actually ever fully dead, mostly because of the way that he died in Guardians 2. Because if you guys remember, Rocket Raccoon had to fashion a makeshift bomb using one of the Anulax batteries that he stole from the Sovereign people. Now, this is extremely important now, because these are the very same people who use the same golden yellow type of energy to evolve themselves into the peak evolution people that they are. And the very same energy that Aisha was funneling into her ultimate weapon of mass destruction, Adam Warlock, the peak of evolution. Now, I believe this because historically in the MCU, yellow energy is the cosmic infinity energy singularity of evolution. And I believe this is the same type of evolution energy found within the Mind Stone. But just as importantly, it's also the same yellow cosmic evolutionary that gives the Eternals their powers and the ability to form a Unimind, as well as the Deviant Crow the ability to evolve his body every time he sipped on an Eternal. The Eternals had this energy in them because that yellow evolution energy came from Earth's yellow sun, which is exactly what they were charging up in front of at the beginning of the Eternals movie. They were all just sitting in front of the sun, absorbing all this radiation, and then they woke up. And the Sovereign had this solar evolution energy themselves because the entire planet the Sovereign actually sit on are literally just 6 yellow suns covered by sun-sized domes of technology called Dyson spheres that farm solar evolution energy. Like the platform of Anulax Harbulary batteries that the Guardians are protecting at the beginning of Guardians 2 is where all the energy that the Sovereign's 6 giant suns get funneled into to create batteries and whatnot. This all being said, the bomb that Groot set off in Ego's brain did not destroy Ego's brain completely, but instead transformed, mutated, and evolved that brain into an overgrown monstrosity of celestial mass and tentacles and whatnot, which could very well be the source of this glowing blue energy at the center of this circular structure 1 minute into the trailer that I was thinking that was actually the eyeball of Knowhere as soon as I saw it in the trailer. I was like, that is the eyeball of Knowhere, I see you. That the High Evolutionary will eventually steal from Guardians HQ to make his new and improved evolved Celestial. He's gonna take that head and use it with Ego's brain and just make one big Celestial. I think that's the plan here. Basically doing what he did to Rocket and the New Men on a much larger scale with Celestials. Because as we know, Ego's power came from the glowing blue light of energy inside of his big blue brain. But since that brain got blown up with a yellow Anulax bomb, you can see a faint golden glow of energy within the tendrils of this Knowhere eyeball. But speaking of this shot that might be Knowhere's eye, check out the patterns of red and white colors that the organic tissue is forming into, as well as the background of this shot of the trailer of the Guardians carrying a wounded Drax. In particular, these red plants on the right of the frame, as well as the white balcony above the plants. These are all features found on Ego's planet when the Guardians first arrive in Guardians 2, with Ego's weird looking red plant life as they land, as well as the creamy white material that Ego used to make his white ship, as well as the floating platform that Ego uses to get the Guardians to his castle. So whatever facility the Guardians are escaping with Drax in the shot is most likely one of the High Evolutionary's science installation prisons on the surface of his super Ego creation, because these are all elements found on Ego's planet, these red and white weird organic looking shit. But yes, this is what I believe will be the final endgame of the High Evolutionary in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, to experiment on the remains of the dead Celestials Knowhere and Ego in an attempt to evolve a Celestial, much like the High Evolutionary was interested in doing in the comics, leaving the Guardians of the Galaxy to deal with a threat that took an army of Celestials to handle in the comics. So, you know, good fucking luck. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think that Super Ego could be showing up at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3? Let us know in the comment section below. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. You can follow me at MasterTainment on Twitter if you guys want to see me tweet some weird shit. But most importantly, you can follow you Rockstars wherever we are on the social medias. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys times a million, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.